Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you. Just a quick tip about another way to pick up comics. I've done this on 2 separate occasions now. The first one was a pretty good one, and this one was even better. So the way that it works is that it's Facebook. Of course it depends on what kind of area you live in or how safe you feel with things like this. But basically they have a Facebook marketplace, and if you just type in comics as a search and then give a radius to where you live. This is on Facebook app, on Facebook on the web page, doesn't matter. And you type in comics and then you put in your radius. And it'll show all the people that are selling things on Facebook Marketplace in that radius with the word comics in it. And be amazed how many people are selling private collections, individual comics maybe, or short runs. Recently, I picked up, for my son, I picked up the Circle Chase run for Deadpool, probably for about $20 less than I could get it, online. But the best thing is that you're not paying anything up front. So when I buy online, a lot of times I'm like, well, they say it's good, or on eBay, oh, it says it, I see a picture of it. But there's nothing like standing in a parking lot, and somebody opens their trunk and there's a bunch of comics there, and you look through them and you see which ones are actually worth the price you're going to be paying. So for that reason alone, I think it beats eBay. Plus you don't have to pay for shipping either if they're local. So always be smart with security. Make sure try not to go alone. Go with somebody else. Make sure usually you meet in a public place first if you can. Or completely in a public place, and get to know them a little bit, and at least talk to them for a second and say, okay, is this a normal person I'm dealing with or not? And then you can go from there. And be ready with cash, because cash is king, right? So in this particular case, what I did was that someone had actually told me, it was like, oh, you're into comics, aren't you? I saw on Facebook somebody had comics for sale. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. So I checked it out, and it turned out right now I have one LCS, so it's not a great LCS. It's really more of an online auction type place for comics and collectibles. They've kind of more or less abandoned the true, comic book customers, the walk-ins. But in any case, we had another LCS that closed last summer. Well, it turns out that the people that were selling the comics, they were actually, the listing was for shelving and comic book racks, and then it said, oh, and we have 12 long boxes of comics you can pick up too. So I messaged them on Facebook. So first I messaged them right out of the marketplace portal or whatever on Facebook. You just message them, and they said, yeah. I said, well, are you looking to sell it all in a bundle? Because I don't have 10 grand to put down to start a comic book shop, basically. I said, so are you looking to sell it all together, or are you looking to sell it or would you break it up? They said they asked what I was interested in. I basically just repeated what the listing was. Some shelving, because I have a garage, I might be able to put some shelving in there. So there was some shelving, and also I'm interested in the comic books, to look through the comic books, because I'm not buying 12 long boxes and not knowing what the hell's in them. So anyway, they agreed. We met in a public place. I went with my wife, and we followed them to just a mile down the road. As soon as first I had already suspected that it was an old comic shop that closed, because I recognized the fixtures from the old shop. And it wasn't open that long, just a couple of years. And then when the guy showed up, I recognized him as being one of the guys that helped to run the shop. So once that was good, it was all good. Followed him down there. He had a box truck full of comics and books and collectibles and toys and posters and everything. In fact, it's still there, and I may go back, because at this point I met him after work. It was like 5:30 and didn't have that much time to look through, but it was really exciting, and it was cold, and basically I hunted until I ran out of daylight, because like I said, it was a box truck, so I was outside. It was cold too. So anyway, I got an entire an entire short box for $90. And I filled whatever, I went through the entire collection of comics that he had and filled whatever I wanted into that short box for $90. So this didn't fit, but I still got it for the same price. This is Wolverine, Nick Fury, Scorpion Connection. It's a hardcover, really nice. And it has an inside thank you to Steranko, who had created the Scorpion character, or the Scorpio character. And so might get that signed this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. So next we have, we'll just go through real quick. Here's X-Men movie, the beginning. This has a price tag of $9. That comic shop, one of the reasons I think that they went under was because their prices weren't great. But anyway, here we have X-Men movie, the beginnings. Pretty cool. It's a thick book. And I think it sells like collecting the X-Men movie prequels, Magneto, Rogue, and Wolverine. So it's a trade. Very nice. I won't go through them all, but I'll do a fast run. Got the entire Marvel run. That would have been nice when doing the juicy comic covers. And got the entire run there. Look at that. That's neat. Ooh, I don't know if we can show that this early in the evening. Very nice, though. And some of the variant covers that are harder to find, I guess, in that run. I don't really know what that's about, but I guess it's supposed to be good. Some Spider-Man. I mean, basically just anything you could imagine, they had it. It was like going to your local LCS and just picking up as much as you wanted. So this is my lightning haul. Look at that. We might make a thing of this. I mean, just for what I paid, and to get to pick, you know, because you hear all the time, oh, well, you know, I can get a long box. So look at that. Oh, you believe I didn't have that in my collection yet? So I'm super excited about that one. I needed that one. So anyway, that's just an example of some of the stuff I got. They had some older things, some newer things. Look at that variant, Batman and Superman. I love that. That movie poster cover there. Here's a good one. What'd I do with it? Anyway, I got a green, look at that Superman homage cover. That's nice. And I got a blank, I pull that out now. I got a blank Green Lantern, Star Trek Green Lantern, #1 of Volume 1. And we're going to a con tomorrow, and I think we're going to go ahead and get a picture made, get a sketch done of the family and put that on there. So when that gets done, I'll show it to you all. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Look at that G.I. Joe cover. Man, that's nice. I'm telling you. There's the other Star Trek Green Lantern that I got, the regular, you know, the #1 cover. That's neat. And Daredevil, I mean, you name it. And most of them have bag and boards. Just a few of them didn't. The entire Origin 2 run picked up. Here's a signed copy of Superman, the Man of Steel, signed by Bogdanov, I guess. So I don't know who that is. I assume the artist. So that's cool. I mean, you're just digging around, you get a signed copy. This is awesome. 3D glasses included, 3D Alien Terror. Look at that. It's like a half-naked alien on there. And it had the glasses inside. And it's really crazy looking to look at the old 3D books. So, you know, like I said, they had new and old stuff. They had a bunch of Dynamic Forces stuff with the certificate. This one's pretty good find. It was a Wizard World East exclusive. Of Magdalena preview. That one's worth a couple of bucks. You know, most of these things, the ones that are Dynamic Forces signed, they're worth something, you know. Not a ton, but they'll get you there. Fantastic Five. Lady Death swimsuit special #1. Somebody out there needs that. It's not necessarily me, but for the price I was paying, I went ahead and got it. Some Red Sonja, Champions, Kid Cult, Outlaw. There's some old stuff in here. Unlimited access. I love crossovers. That had DC and Marvel crossover. So that doesn't happen very often. Some more Superman. Spider-Man. Super Dinosaur. Battle Worlds. We got the entire Battle Worlds run in here. Uncanny. Something I was looking into. From Dynamite. I ended up putting a huge dent in my Wolverine collection that I needed. Look at that Superman. There's a couple here that I really like. There's Crypto. Look at that. And there's a Superman to match it. I just think that's beautiful. Rampaging Wolverine. Look at that. Can you believe it? So I got this whole short box for 90 bucks. And man, did I pack it tight. I thought I was going to damage some of the comics. I was stuffing it in there so tight. But, you know, he didn't say anything. He knew what was going on. and I was the one that made the offer. Actually, I think he wanted 120 for the box, and I said, you know, I really didn't expect this. Got the entire Age of Ultron run from 1 to 10 plus the 10 AI, so we did pretty good. I just felt like he knew what was going on. I wasn't trying to take him or anything, and I even told him too that, you know, hey, I may come back next week, so I want to make sure that we're both happy with this deal when it's all said and done. And he agreed, and we went ahead and, you know, settled on $90. You know, I was hoping for 75 or 80, but I'll take 90 for as many as we got all day long. So that's where we're at. So I hope you enjoyed that there. I was trying to get to one in here. I found a very rare Tomb Raider. It's a 1 in 400 print run, and I think it's the rarest one that I have, rarest comic that I own. So when I find that, I'll maybe I'll do another video on it or just show it off real quick. But it's a beautiful comic too. I was really proud to own it. So all right, well, that's it. So check out Facebook. Go on to Facebook and see if there is anything that, you know, just type in comics or whatever you're into in the search of the marketplace, and you're sure to find something in your area. And if you're lucky like I was, you might even find a honey hole of a closed shop in a box truck in the middle of the country, and you can dig until the sun goes down and pay just a little bit of coin and walk out, you know, with a huge amount of comics. I mean, it's going to take me so long to categorize and file all these, but it'll be fun because I've already enjoyed it so much so far. Just to get to this point, it's just really neat. So anyway, that's my quick little haul and my tip on picking up some comics that you may not have known about. And so there you go. Hope it helps y'all out. So this is BUB'S Comics, and when you get done with this, shut off your screens and go read a book. Thanks.